Good afternoon and welcome to America's Home Cooking. I should say good evening because we're close to it. Alright, I'm going to be making a green bean salad with shallot, mustard, and tarragon. You need, let's get the green beans going. You need 1.5 pounds of green beans trimmed and cut into 1 to 2 inch lengths, 1 to 2 inches. Okay? I've already snapped them. That means snapping means take each tip off. All I have to do is break them up and rinse them off. And I'm going to need a bowl. You're going to need 2 quarts of water. And believe it or not, they say you need 1/4 cup of salt to add to the boiling water. So I'm going to be snapping these. Reason you're snapping them 1 to 2 inches is so that when you go to eat them, you're not like this going, you can put it in your mouth, as they say. My son did something really stupid. He sat there, one of my sons did this, you'll never guess what he did. Now, I take vitamins, I buy them and all. Now, I have calcium, magnesium, and I have them at a high dose, and I let my sons know that you can't take any more than this. Well, one of my sons got really upset. He was having trouble sleeping and all, so he decided to take a lot more, like 8 of them, 7 to 8 of them. And he said, "Mommy, I think I'm killing myself." I said, "What did you do?" And he told me what he did, and I fell out laughing. I said, "Yeah, you know, calcium, magnesium are tranquilizers. I mean, it's it's really strong." He said, "Oh, really?" Well, I said, "How much did you take?" He said, "One time I popped 5. I said, "Do you know how many grams you took?" You took 5 grams. That's 5,000. That's 5,000 milligrams. You can't take that much because it's a tranquilizer. It'll shut everything down. See, vitamins are just as strong, but the bad thing about if you take too much, it doesn't come out of the system as easy as medication. Medication, if you stop it, usually within 24 to 72 hours, it's out of your system. But nutrients are another thing. And I said, "And you didn't tell me," and I've been using bone broth and everything else I've been cooking, so I'm adding more calcium and stuff into your body. You had too much. He said, "Well," I said, "do not take any of it, at least until Sunday. We'll see how you are on Sunday. If you're still tired, you have to go another day before you can have it." So I don't know where he thought it was going to work doing that, but anyway, he did. But I told him, I'm going to tell him what you did. He said, "Are you?" I said, "Oh, yes, I am." That is a good example of overtaking. Like if you take too much not cod liver oil, where am I? A&D fish liver oil, your liver becomes toxic and you have to come off of it and wait a while until, it gets back. That's why they recommend so much A&D or fish liver oil for little ones, I remember those days taking it. So you think medication? You take nutrients, man, they get stuck in there, because the nutrients, the body's not going to try throwing it out, it's going to hold it. So I said, "Have you been sleeping good?" He said, "Oh, yeah, I just can't get up, Mommy. I usually want to get up and all I want to do is sleep." And I said, "That's what it did, it relaxed you." That's why I always sit there and say, if my sons were angry or something, I'd make sure I added extra minerals. Like that time I said I wanted to see my Cowboys play, and my sons were arguing, and my husband it was just a bad day, so I went and looked up Dr. Bronner's. I looked for my minerals, and I dumped a lot of it in. They all slept, and I got to see the game. So you have to be careful with those things. Too much vitamin C, you can get the trots. For those of you that don't know what the trots are, that's diarrhea. I mean, if I have an infection, I can take 10 grams and it won't affect me at all. Like when my face was breaking out, I got something got near me, and my skin is extremely sensitive to chemicals and stuff. So somewhere along the line, I got close to something, and I broke out. So I took 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C with bioflavonoids, and let's see, by day 5 I dropped down to 6 1,000 milligrams. And just the other day, I finally just came down to just my regular amount. Yesterday, I took 2,000 milligrams, and now I'm down to normal. That's when you use it, you know? But don't. Anyway, well, he did it. I laughed at the table. I shouldn't have laughed. He said, this isn't funny, but this is how he is. He'd have his coffee in the morning. He'd be like this. I said, do you have anything to say? He said, no. He didn't have anything to say. He was quiet all day long. He said, Mommy, I fell asleep on the bus. I mean, when I saw my friend's mother, I felt like, could I sleep on your floor? I'm really tired. I died laughing. I shouldn't have. But anyway, he's on the right track now. He's not taking anymore until Sunday morning. I'll see how he is Sunday morning, and if he's all right, he can have some, but not to go over a certain amount. When they were little, like I said, when I really wanted to do something and everybody was just being nasty, I would sit there and pull out my minerals and say, I'm going to fix everybody's wagon. And you know, at one time, women actually, they could kill their husbands in the kitchen, and she didn't know what she was doing. Matter of fact, there was a woman, women were doing it. If the husband beat her or abused her, she would feed him something and kill him. And at that time, science didn't know, so they got away with murder. So you think about it. You're in a very powerful position. You just want the pieces 1 or 2 inches. That's what I'm actually doing right now. Just, you know, breaking, snapping them. I'm not going to cut them and make them super neat. I'm feeding my family. I'm not in a contest. If I was in contest now, I'd be trimming, measures, everything. But anyway, and a fiasco that's been going on for a week, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. You all right? Yeah, I'm all right, Mommy. Are you sure you're all right? Yeah, I'm all right. He was not all right. I tell you. You see, my husband couldn't take the amount that I take every day. If he took my amount, he'd never get up out of bed. And according to how hyper you are, decides how much. So I seem to be the most highly strung one in the family. I'm the one who takes the most. Oh, such a pretty green. I'm just rinsing them right now. We got the water on for them. Getting the drain board, and we'll wait for that. Well, like I told you, they want 1/4 of a cup of salt. That's 4 tablespoons. That is a lot of salt. I know you were probably wondering where I've been, but we were eating leftovers for 2 days. I mean, it didn't make sense, you know, to show you, oh, look, we're having leftovers. This is really a lot of salt, and I never use this much salt. Okay, I added my 4 tablespoons. Okay, you can't possibly want any more salt than that. Now I'm going to go get a cutting board, and we're going to do some mincing. Okay, now they want us to put this in a big bowl, but I need the big bowl right now because I'm going to parboil. Parboil means we're just going to cook them for a little bit. Not really till they're completely done, but close enough just till they're done. But right now we're working on a shallot. Shallot has the mingled flavors of garlic and onion. Mild. It does belong to the onion family. Oh, I tell you, I have to turn you so far down. So I had berry mint today while I was eating. I was lucky I didn't choke on my lunch. And what did I have for lunch? I bought some rolls because I don't have any rolls in the house. And I cooked some bacon, thick slices of bacon. I cooked a couple of pieces to go into the sandwich that I made. And I took the roll, cut it in half, put some butter on it, and I broiled it to toast it. Then I put mustard on the bottom part of it after it cooled a bit because I didn't want to burn my fingers. And then I sat there. What am I doing here? Well, I am thin slicing it, okay? I'm making strips. And I put mayonnaise on the top, and then I fried some bacon and I put it on top of the mustard that was on the bottom. They did them in circles. I'm going to do them in strips. That's just me. And then I scrambled some eggs, put it on. Then I cut an avocado, put it on. And then I put Swiss cheese on. And that's what we had for lunch today. Yeah, I like it like this better than the circles. I'm sorry. Look, that's a long piece. That's a long piece. This one's a thick piece, so I will do this to it. And I put the sandwich together. It was a big sandwich, I mean, and we had it with a glass of milk. And yes, I do drink milk. I'm 72 and I still drink milk, but I don't have back problems. I don't have arthritis or anything. And as you see, my hands are not arthritic. Though you had seen them during the stress of my husband, you'd say your hands are definitely showing signs. Yeah, I know. They wanted the shallots in circles, but I wanted strips like this. They'll sort of go with the green beans, you know. Okay, I'm going to have to cut you like this because you're going to be thick. So children can give you some really wonderful times of laughter when you think about what they've done. He even said I said something. I said, I did not say that. That's not true. I can't say that. That's not true in nutrition. So we're going to have this salad with a meatball sandwich. Except I am going to be using buffalo meat instead of the way it was done with beef and pork. I wanted it done with just plain buffalo meat. It has a nice gamey taste to it, and if you have a hunter or a father who hunts, you'll be very familiar with these flavors of different meats. So I look forward to it. I think it'll be nice to have. All right, now what do you want? Salt. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. All right, you want 1/4 of a teaspoon? Okay, well, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt go into your scallions. This has so much salt in it. Okay. white wine vinegar, they want a whole tablespoon. I was looking at the vinegars today. I said, well, I'll be buying some more. I think I've got almost every vinegar in the house because so many recipes I have require. You want this vinegar or that vinegar or this vinegar, whatever. All right. Toss to combine. I can see why they'd want to be circles, but I want it like this. So when I talk to you and explain nutrition to you, understand that you have to be very, very careful that you keep things in balance. That's why I say do this. We'll do this instead of this to make sure that we compensate for something that I'm looking forward to. All right. Yeah, I've got the water. It's boiling. What do you want me to do with it? Yeah, oh, you want it high, really high? Okay. Okay, we are going to put the green beans in and cook until green beans are a bright green and tender, about 5 minutes. In that bowl you have in the sink, we are going to sit there and add a lot of cold water. If you have ice cubes, then you're better than me. And we're going to plunge these into the cold water, which is a shock, and it'll seal that color up that we're looking for and that we want to hold. Okay, so you have to wait. You see, if you don't kill these off right away after the shock that we're going to throw them into the ice cold water, they continue cooking and they get duller and duller, and then you get that dull green. What we want to do is hold the green as much as we can. Now they want fresh tarragon. I could not find it in the store, so I'm going to be using canned tarragon. Now I might as well tell you the rest of the stuff we need. We're going to need extra virgin olive oil. We're going to need Dijon mustard. I have a brown mustard, so I will use the mustard half of it because it's a stronger flavor than Dijon. So I will cut it back so it's more bland. You're going to need capers. You need tarragon, which we just talked about, and pepper. And I'm going to be making some chicken salads that you have not thought of, which are going to be brand new for you. This week I might as well tell you some things that we're doing. I am thinking about making, what's that other salad I want to make? A salad, and I want to share duck breast. And we're also going to have another chicken salad. No, chicken sandwich. We're having a lot of chicken this week. It's just everything came up chicken this time. We're going to be also having that. So we're going to be having some sandwiches that are actually a whole meal as well. Now this salad that we're making is going to be served tomorrow. Now you can serve this with meatloaf, or if you wish you could make a steak, hamburger steak, which I showed you how to do. Did I show you how to do that? I think I showed you how to do it. Well, if I didn't, you'll be seeing me do it again. You could sit there, I said chicken, you could serve it with cold fish, which would be nice as well. So this salad is very, very versatile for people who pack lunches for their loved ones and you want to give them something different where it's not always sandwiches and sandwiches. And if you make rolls, you've got that going for them, which is great. If you want to go in an opposite direction, you can actually make potato chips and serve with it. And that's another treat that you can do. There's just a lot of things, but one of my sons and I are going to try to make cheddar popcorn. We're working on that right now. Okay, we have 5 minutes. So you want it really boiling, I call it a royal boil, because you can't go any higher than that. A lot of people call it just a rolling boil. If you hear me say royal, that's what I mean. If you want it at the highest boiling point you can get it. Okay, I got 5 minutes, so I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Okay, I've got them in the cold water right now. I'm trying to I'll show you how green they are, and you can tell the difference from ones that are left and not thrown in the cold water. Let me get the cookbook out of the way, because we're going to have to make a mess here. You're going to need a towel to put these on to dry. I use this for yogurt, so why not? You'll see how beautifully green they are in a minute. Look how dark green they are. That's what you want. That's why you do that. Now they want these dry. I'm going to let them sit. Did somebody just think about putting it in the refrigerator when you're done drying them? I guess you could. That would hurry it up too. By the way, you do need 4 tablespoons of salt in it. Yeah, I'm going to set them over here on the other side. Let them dry a little more. Just drying them out more. That's all I'm doing over here. I just got another towel because this towel is getting soaked. See, the less water you have on them, the better the vinaigrette that you're going to make will sit on them. If you have the water, you're going to dilute everything down. Come on, guys, you got to go into the bowl now. You know, I just don't have any room. Because you're going to have to toss them, they recommend that you put this in a big bowl so you can toss them. If it's a small bowl, you're not going to be able to spread it out, the vinaigrette on them. Okay. Now this will feed 4 to 6 people, okay? You know, the vinaigrette with the onions, well, the shallot. I want you to put it in here with the salt and everything and toss it. And then we'll get the other stuff ready. See, I don't like the circles. I sort of like it like this. Okay, now we'll get the rest of the stuff together. Now I don't have my book. I can't win for losing in a kitchen. Okay. What is a salad spinner? I have never heard of that. It's called Blanch and Shocked. Now, if you want to do the green beans before you do everything else, you can blanch and shock, which we just did. We blanched them in the water, then we threw them into ice water. That's called blanch and shock. And you can sit there after they're dry and you've done that, leaving everything off of them. You can put them in a Ziploc bag for up to 2 days if you want to do this part. Just the blanch and shock. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm going to bring them back over here because you're going to make me do all this. Well, let's get all the chopping done first. We need 1 tablespoon of capers. Where did I put my strainer? These are little flower buds. That's all they are. So you can see a lot of flowers you need. You need 1 tablespoon of these. Let's see, does that look like a tablespoon? Yeah, that looks like a tablespoon. Now they want you to rinse these. That's rinsing a lot of salt off, which I could understand with all the salt you cook the green beans with. But you can see how beautifully green when you do that shock, blanch and shock step. You know what? Take some of this water off of them. So these are little flower buds. I don't know what plant. I couldn't tell you that. That I do not know. Now they want these chopped. Well, minced actually. Okay, you're going to add this to your green beans. Anything else you want chopped? All right. If you have fresh tarragon, please add 2 teaspoons. They want it minced. I have dry, so I'm going to put 1 teaspoon in. Because they always tell you dry is 1/3 of what you're doing, so I put in half. The mustard, they want 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I can't do that. I can only put in a half of this because this is I haven't made any Dijon mustard. I've been so busy. So I'll only use half of this. Because the brown mustard is very, very strong. That's why I'm only going in that direction. And they want, is there anything else you want in there? Yeah, 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, there's something else we have to do. We need 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. My mortar and pestle. We're pretty much just about done. this is it. This is the salad. Put this in a bowl, and tomorrow it will be ready with those sandwiches. I'm also going to serve pickled beets that I have already canned. They've been sitting for a while, so I know they're really ripe at this point. And we'll get a smaller bowl and put that in. Oh, rats. I'll have to put it in here. Well, it's okay. I have so many things going, sometimes it's difficult to keep up with everything. But see, this is a salad you could take on a picnic as well, like I said, or you can make a cold lunch for your loved ones. And that is it. So listen, enjoy your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.